Not a lot, unfortunately. We didn't add the mythic bird. Isn't it a second amulet trigger lines up the top or like Oracle or for some value? Maybe we'll look at the top cards of your library anytime. You may play land cards and cast bird spell. No, you don't get to play an extra lands. Is it good enough with amulets? Could be a decent Zenith target, I guess. To Zenith Spelunking. Not if you've already played a land, though. Also, it doubles bounce land trigger, so it might be hard to get value. I mean, I guess it does pop up the one turn, but it doesn't like, yeah, I'm not seeing it. I have to ask Canister about that one. Sit Timeless Artificer, 4/4 for blue, white, and 2. Artifact creatures and heroes you control get +1/+1 for each artificer you control and each artificer card in your graveyard. The deck can have any number of Sid and then it cycles for 2. Dude, I don't know. Hope. Hope for is a 2/2 lifelink for a blue and a white human wizard. At the beginning of your end step, each one mills X card or X amount of life you destroy. Tidus, Blitzbulb, Star. 3 mana, 2/1. Blue white. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Tidus. Whenever Tidus attacks top target creature nobody controls. Emmet Selk. 2/4 for blue, black, and 1. Elder Wizard's Vigilance. When it enters or attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay, not bad. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform into 6/6 Vigilance. During your turn, you may play a land card from your graveyard. If a card or a token will be put in your graveyard from anywhere you go instead. Yeah, MS Dog seems at least fine. Draw discards. Is it better than Scholar? We had kind of had this discussion already, I think. The Vigilance is nice, yes. It doesn't cure a better War's Body, but better effect. I'm not sure. Alright, let's add it to the list then. Sundered. Kura's like not that great of a magic cards. Gold-based Crystal Collectors a 1/4 for a blue and a black. Human Wizard's Legend. Whenever an artifact you control enters, surveil 1. Beginning of your end step, if you control 4 more artifacts, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts, each one loses life equals that card's power. Card seems like maybe a one-of in some blue-black modern artifact deck. Not sure where else. 2/3 for free, Death Touch, Lifelink. Whenever lock cold deals combined damage to player, draw a card and discard a card. Ooh, 6 mana, Sephiroth, blue black. 4/4 Vigilance. When it enters, creatures your opponent controls get -2/-7 on a turn. Whenever a creature your opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I mean, we played Massacre Worm, I guess. That was a while ago, though. Xandi Dark Mage. The Darkest Mage got an invitational card. For 3/4, blue-black menace. When it gets +1/+1 for each non-creature and non-land card in your graveyard. Oh. It's big monster. Alright, still not great, but... Black Wolf's number 3. Black, red, and 2/2 flying Death Touch. Legendary Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Garland's Knight of Cornelia. Red, black. 3/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. 7 mana, return this from your graveyard to the battlefield transformed. 5/5. And then when it dies, goes... Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, surveil 1. So it has like Dragon Rage Challenger's ability. Seems kind of bad, no? Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. You get a bunch of wizards, and if you control 4 or more, counting itself, it's transforming into 4/6. If it was, you could only fight until some. Not even that exciting. Yeah, I mean, there's a red-black wizard theme, right? There's that like draw 2, lose 2, pump your wizards, give them lifelink. Balthur and Fran, 4/3 for free mana card, red, green, and 1 reach. Vehicles you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance and reach. Whenever a vehicle crewed by it and Fran this turn attacks, if it's the first combat phase on the turn, you may pay free. If you do, after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Wall of text, 6 mana, common. Radia. 1/2 for a red and a green, human shaman legend. Whenever a land you control enters, you may discard a card if you draw a card. And then summon is X tap. Return target saga card was mana value X from a graveyard to the battlefield with finale count on it. Then you see something on the turn. Actually, it only has sorcery. How much more do I have to go? I'm like kind of falling asleep. I have a lot of the goal stuff. I might just finish tomorrow. We have a bit to go to. Radia is great. Radia does seem least playable, but you really have time to dirtle? Do you really have time to dirtle like that? Just 2 mana, 2 drop. Goal has the most good cards, yeah. Yeah, we'll finish the set review tomorrow. I'm just still tired from not getting enough sleep past bunch of days. Because we had Emmet Selk on Sundered so far as our only golds. Playable cards. None of the red-black stuff. I think we're discussing Radia, Summoner of Mist. I think that was one of their very last cards spoiled too, right? Final Fantasy 4. Whenever a lane you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Decent ability. And then X. Tap. Return target saga card as mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield with finale counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So it's nice because it's got a little utility even if it dies right away. And they kind of need to kill it. Kind of a build around though. Maybe it could be some kind of maybe it could go well with Yuna. I kind of just want to see what we're almost at Yuna. Kind of knowing what Yuna does is probably important because that could be a card. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have trample, lifelink, and ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield as finale counter. So you play it, they need to have a lot of mana up to kill it right away. And then you get some value right away at your end step. Did you just cut the Amulet Man? Yeah, it's... which one's the Amulet Man? Someone mentioned the bird, the green bird in Amulet, but I didn't think that was that good. Blue-green one, now we're at red-green. So, are we adding Iridia to the list of playable cards? Let's bring up that MTG decks win rates standard. Just so we have that open. So we have like kind of the top decks. None of them are red-green. Probably not a card that either Gruul aggro or even the Delirium deck wants. Delirium might have been it was one of the best performing decks. Naya Saga, yeah, I mean Yuna seems really powerful. Naya Saga, maybe some hybrid with Overlords too. Maybe 4-color with Zur. Hey Josh. I was actually thinking of you because I was thinking because Jose just gave me the mental note tip, so I sold 4 for 12 a piece, and then I tried to sell 4 again, and it was 11 a piece. And I was thinking like, I guess drinks and dinner on me next RC because of Jose's tip. But then I was like, well, that probably would have been the case anyways. Yeah. Antwerp. Is Antwerp a spotlight? I might go. That's really close. Oh, Antwerp is RC. So it's the RC for the first PT of next year, right? Liverpool, yeah. And when's Antwerp? Is the date out already? Let's see. Antwerp RCUG. November. Oh, very nice of them to not have it during my birthday. I guess it's not that big of a deal when it's during my birthday. Cool. All right, so Radia. Probably too gimmicky. I don't think I'm going to add it to the list of playables. Next is Terra, Magical Adept. Oh, that one was kind of nice. 4/2 for green, red, and 1. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards, put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. And in 6 turns, exile Terra, then return to the battlefield, transfer under its owners, acting only as sorcerer. You get a 6/6 flying. The first 3 chapters are create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. Gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it. Sacrifice at the beginning of your next end step. Card's really powerful. Good blocker. Not very good attacker. I mean, it gets blocked easily. It dies easily, but self-mill. Card advantage. Win condition. Actually finds you Insidious Roots. There's like not a ton of cards, so if you're willing to splash reds, play red in your Insidious Roots deck. Or just was Yuna. Insidious Roots probably like long shot, but just a Yuna deck. Could also be good in the Delirium deck. Not sure how many enchantments are in the Delirium deck right now. It might just be FOMO. Vidir just flex. Insurgent Salt, welcome back. I'm definitely going to add that card to the list. I think it does enough, and the rate is good enough that it'll see play at some point, and it'll be relevant at some point. Yeah, Vian. I sold 4 for 12 and 4 for 11. I wonder how much. Let's go and check actually while people tune in. Should I sell it to like different bots? Because I just did good bots twice in a row. What about the birds? Are we birding? I'm not sure what you're asking. You want me to do a little bird dance? That's funny. One time, Liz was playing one of her RPGs, and there's some kind of animation where it was like birds dancing. So I just started doing a little bird dance. Just go like. She was very amused. The mental note millionaire, yeah. Let's see. Let's see how much I can sell them for now. I have a binder with 47 mental notes or 43 mental notes. Let's see if they still want them. How many tickets? That's still 11. Alright, I'll take 11 again. 11 a pop. Hasn't gone down. I sing Jose. I guess drinks and dinner are on me in Antwerp. Alright, I didn't add Iridia to the playable list. Feels like not impactful enough. Maybe better in modern actually. Could maybe be good in modern because of Urza's Saga and fetch lands and whatnot. Could be kind of a nice enabler for some modern deck, but I'm not sure what. Yeah, it's just they basically using his Twitch chat stardom to just free roll every Magic tournament. And then I added Terra to the playable list because I feel like that card does a lot and powerful. The flip ability is really strong. I think I just have Ren and 6. Yeah, but this ramps you, right? This kind of ramps you if you're bringing back Urza's Saga, just cheating lanes into play. Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. A lifelink 2/2. Whenever Garnet attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas you control. Put a +1/+1 counters on Garnet for each lore counter removed this way. 2/2 lifelink for 2 was cool ability. Does anyone has a specific? There's no like 1 mana saga, right? Not something cool you could like play turn 1 saga, turn 2 this. Kumano, true. There was Kumano. I have something like the Witch's Vanity. It's kind of a nice one to just keep killing creatures over and over. Anyone that are already green or white though? No green white saga. Yeah. Hasty Drino. Renoa Heartily. 5 mana 4/4. Create Angelo. Okay. Alright, back to rare. Green, white, and 1. Sarah Farron, 2/2. The first legendary creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 2 or more other legendary creatures, you may transform Sarah Farron. It turns into a legendary artifact with the same passive and legendary. So if you go legend turn 1, legend turn 2, you play that, it flips right away. And when Final Fantasy game review. Or raise the end at the list. Yeah, I mean it's not very elaborate, but I'll post it in the Discord. I'll have a link for it. I'll just post it in the Discord. I might do a YouTube video too. Like some kind of top 10 video. Did anyone correct our Ultima mistake from yesterday yet? No? We're listening though. What did we mess up? This was Mox Amber.
Hell yeah, made it for the set review.
Yo, Cantus. What's up, buddy? Thanks for the 18 months. Yeah, we did part 1 yesterday. We did everything till the gold cards, basically. Ultima doesn't stop Heartfire and Enduring Curiosity. Oh, really? Why not? What's the timing? Oh, that's kind of a big deal. The trigger during cleanup? Well, the turn is ended. Alright, well, to be confirmed, I guess. Are these commander cards going to survive the red beatdowns or what? So far, I don't feel like there's a single slam dunk card that's gonna for sure shake up standards. But there's some role players. There's a lot of cards that make probably reanimator decks better. There's set for us that's just like really push card, but not sure it has a real good home. I see. You cast Ultima, it becomes cleanup, and then the triggers go into the sack. Well, that doesn't help me because I'm not very good with the rolls. Alright, one of the hypest card of the set, one of the coolest card of the set. Is Yuna the hero of Final Fantasy X? Is she the main character? Rooch, thank you so much for the prime resub. Welcome back. Saul says the triggers during cleanup are from having full hands. Like discarding Emerald Call to 8 cards or other effects in the end step cleanup. Did you read the release notes question mark? It literally says things triggering during Ultima happen in cleanup. Yes, I'm reading it now. She's kind of the main character, her and Titus. Lightning, we're about to get to Lightning. I know it was maybe pre-drag or someone was saying Lightning might be the best card in the set. Or standard at least, maybe, or... She didn't use Zur? I mean, she could go with Zor. Seems insanely powerful. TYTY122, thank you so much for yet another Prime. 60 months. Happy anniversary to us. And thanks for your support. Thanks for remembering to use that Prime sub every month. Zur's leaving after the set. I don't know. I'm not a great person to ask about rotations. I mean, Yuna could go in a lot of decks. Enchantment, Saga, Overlord, like... Just 5 mana, green, white, and free, 5. During your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have trample, lifelink, and or 2. So I see you play it and she's hard to kill, and in end step you get value right away. At the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finale counter on it. I see Decent was even just up the beanstalks or and just Saga the Saga creatures. She's going on the list. For sure. I mean, you can like just set up to bring back one of the really expensive Saga. Doesn't seem that complicated. Probably gonna be free color, right? You have that one card. Tune up, I think it's called now. What's it called? 4 mana. Oh no, it's an artifact card. Right, that was the one we're talking about. Was like the vehicle stuff. Bring back Omni, yeah. Gray was Overlords. Nice was the blue Overlord. Black Overlord makes a ton of sense. Sauce is right. Part of the first note says that no triggers go on the stack and nobody gets priority as Ultima resolves and the turn ends. Enchantment. Cannon creature. Yeah, all the innocence. What does the green one do? Taps for mana? Heliod's not the worst thing in the world. White Overlords. Calyx? 2/2 for free. Whenever Calyx or another enchantment you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Whenever Calyx or an enchanted creature you control deals kind of damage to a player, you may create it. Yeah, you are the lizard stand, Cantus. I remember that. I mean, there was a Boilo's Awakening. Repair and recharge. 5 mana sorcery. Return target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker card from your graveyard. I mean, you don't want 5 mana spell those. Like, you want Yuna to be your 5. I don't think you need more 5s. You just play, you know, up to 4 Yunas, and you probably don't need more. This is a non-aura enchantment. That one's at least nice value. I'm gonna play a 5. Yeah, why does it remove colors? Kind of annoying. So it'll either be like a mid-range deck or full control combo with Omni. Yeah, I'm not sure how Omni fits in a deck like that. But I mean, it's just definitely the like super build around, right? It's just the whole deck's gonna be built around that. Like discard probably if you're Naya, discard probably goes in. Beanstalk, Binding, Green Overlords. Not sure. You do need a like Surveillance are pretty good with that. Maybe you played a one-off Rydia. Maybe there's more cards kind of like Rydia. There's FOMO too. Not too sure, honestly. Was that Black Overlord? I don't know. Red has a lot of discard draw. Blue has Blue Overlords. Even just self-mail, like white-green, you know, green has a lot of self-mail card, you know, cash grab and whatnot. I mean, I love Black Overlords, but... Alright, 2 2 for 2. It's not the worst card in the world, honestly. It hits pretty hard. Whenever another creature or artifact you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Judge. I mean, I don't think it's good enough to play more than 1 or 2 if in a dedicated deck, but kind of a decent card. Rufus Shinra. It would have been cool if it was attacks or block. Doesn't feel like it would have been too good. Maybe all strong for limited. It's one of the better cards for sure, Yuna. I mean, it seems like it's the one that has the most busted potential. Squall Seed Mercenary. 4 mana free for Rough Divide. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Oh, like the red creature. Whenever Squall deals combat damage to a player, return target permanent card with mana out fearless from the graveyard to the battlefield. Wow. Strong ability. The red one had a really strong ability too. White black. A lot of creatures have like lifelink too. It's nice with Gix too. If people still play Gix, double striking your Gix. What else? What is there another like cool like Ophidian kind of cards? Is it better than Jecht? Jecht? I don't know how you say his name. I mean, this one needs to be built around, I guess, Jecht too. This one's 2 colors. Like it was Preacher. But Preacher doesn't really need the help, right? I mean, giving first strike to a Death Toucher, but usually Preacher survives most blockers early in the game. Maybe good in Orzhov Pixie was all the ETBs. Yeah, I mean, it's unclear how many cards you can get in your yard, though. You don't really get these enchantments in your yard early in the game. Self-milled Carsey. Could be good in the Abzan Rhino Blink Shell. Let's see what the Abzan deck looked like already. Or did I delete it? I might have deleted it the other day when I was making room. Unfortunate. I don't know, that card's probably like not very good. Did we add the red one in our list? We didn't, so I feel like that one's like just play black classic. Just black overlords. The Emperor of Palamisia. 2/2 for 2, taps for mana, non-creature spells. A blue-red mana dork. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1. I mean, you're just not gonna build your deck to have a lot of expensive spells. The card's just bad. Of course, stop me if you disagree, but what's the transform? I mean, it's not relevant. Free whenever the Lord attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature cards in your graveyard. Something like that exciting. Some Toto Tactician Magician. 0/4 for blue, red, and 1. A wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast the spell. If X is 4 or more, draw a card. I mean, that one's a lot better. But you're still not gonna build your deck around the cards. Tela Great Sage. Free for 5 human wizards. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token. If 4 more mana was spent to cast that spell, draw 2 cards. If 8 or more mana was spent to cast that spell, sacrifice it, and it deals that much damage to each opponent. Yeah, 5 mana random legend. Alright, Vivi. Potentially one of the best, potentially the best card in the set, especially with how good blue-red is in every format right now. Vivi Ornithir. Blue, a red, and a 1. 0/3, legendary creature, wizards. For 0, you add X mana in any combination of blue and or red, where X is Vivi Ornithir's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi Ornithir and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So it's kind of hard to trigger the turn you cast it. You do have Highway Robbery. There's like Highway Robbery, Ruckus for going down that route. Do I really not have blue-red, stock blue-red anywhere here? Surely I have stock blue-red somewhere. Nope, I guess not. This card sets standard over. I mean, you do lose the game if that blue-red deck is at prowess on taps. We've got Highway Robbery, we've got Ruckus. And then that's it. I mean, Highway Robbery is a card that, as at prowess, would kind of be happy to play anyways. Just Highway Robbery into Steel Cutter or Vivi. You play that, it becomes a 1/4. You get a free mana right away. This card is the nuts with Moxes in modern artifact decks, right? Well, the tricky part is always the same thing, right? It's like you usually don't want to hold your Mox cell turn free because of Emery and tapping for mana, etc. So that part's kind of tricky. I'm guessing it's good enough for modern, at least in small numbers. You got Lavadart for free. People already play Mutagenic Growth. It's kind of nice with Mutagenic Growth, right? You pump it and then you add free mana. Maybe it's too gimmicky though. Gutshot, yeah, but Gutshot's just too weak to play. You can't just put Gutshots in your decks, I think. Unless you're playing like almost more of a combo version of a deck. Gives another way to get value out of profs. Except it's not good to curve profs into that. You pump it, add free mana, give it haste with Corey. That's true. You can technically go like Corey turn 2, play it, pump it, get a token, move Corey, attack for 4. You play another spell or two. Monstrous Rage. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 1 damage to each opponent too. This is the best card in the set. It might be. I do pump it on free. In standard was plot spells or I guess Mox Jasper. In modern, you've got Lavadart from the yard, you've got Mutagenic Growth, plot spells. Yeah, Mox decks, Bubble. Oh yeah, you have Bubble. It's not trivial to hold Bubble till turn free, especially since you're trying to get to free mana, etc. Can't see a world when a time walk yourself. I mean, people play Preacher. People play 3 and 4 mana creatures that people play Zur. You don't have to play it on turn free. You don't have to play a 4 of. Yeah, nowhere to run obviously is a big deal. I mean, the free toughness is a big deal. Genova is big. Genova, Ancient Calamity. Black Green into 1/5 Alien. Is it the first alien in the history of Magic? Does anyone know? No. What about in like modern and more recent formats? Oh, that was legal in standard. The meaning of command on your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to Genova's power on up to one other target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types. Whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. It's a lot of text. It's like kind of in the SAG deck, SAG double counters, I don't know. Too bad it's not a mutant itself, so that like if they kill it right away, you get to draw cards. Anyone think that card's any good? Or it's got like some obvious reasonable shell for it? No, next, okay. Gayat, King of the Dwarves, red and white. Dwarf Noble, 1/1 double strike for 2, not bad. Whenever it or another dwarf you control enters, and whenever a necroman you control enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Wow. So it's comparable to FOMO. It has the like FOMO ability, except you don't get to draw when you're empty-handed. You do it for other dwarves. Every equipment. I mean, if there's going to be a white red equipment deck and double strikes, obviously good with equipment. Any playable dwarves? Probably not. Oh, Magda's dwarf. Whenever you commit a crime, create a trade. Probably equipment deck not super good at committing crimes. Fairy dwarf, rankled and torn. I'd pronounce it Gaiet. What about in like plain old? Would you ever play that in white red prowess as like a 1 or 2? Seems you could play like 2 of, because if you draw both, you discard it to itself. Or is there a better one? There's probably just a better 1/1 double strike. Double strike, 2 mana creature. There's Vindicator. I think I take the loot ability over Vigilance and Trample, though. Especially if your pump spell is just Monstrous Rage anyways. Is there something with getting equipments back from yards? I forget. Trying to look at the white and red playable cards we had. Dig the Dwarf, yeah. What about in Modern? If you're willing to play white-red equipments, white-red hammer. Pretty strong ability. Especially in a deck like Hammer Time that doesn't draw cards very well, and Recommission works. Yeah, I mean, Double Striker with Profs is kind of nice. It's a double striker that triggers Profs. Can you justify playing? I mean, probably worse than FOMO. I don't know. Does it make the cut? Should we add it to the list? Or is it too niche? And we're not believing in the white-red equipment deck. Thopter Swords. Huh. I don't think Thopter Swords playable archetype almost ever unless it gets a huge upgrade. Alright, sounds like people like the Dwarf King. Might just be good enough in regular decks. Alright, that's a card people are excited about. Joshua Phoenix Dominant. Red, white, and 1. A 3/4 human noble wizard. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. So it's literally Tersa's ability. 5 tap, exile Joshua, then return it to battlefield, transfer under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery, and it comes back as a 4/4 flying lifelink. First 2 chapters deals 2 damage to each opponent. So you'll lifelink of that. And then 3, return any number of target creature cards total with total mana value 6 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, exile Phoenix, and return it up to the battlefield. And then you get to discard. So it's like just obscene late game, solid on turn 3. Honestly, haven't seen Tersa's like threshold ability win many games, I feel. Even when it does trigger and even when you hit a spell you can cast. Hasn't felt like make or break in my experience. Tersa has haste. Has 1 more toughness. Tersa's haste is very good, yeah. Give me a down sound 2, losing Delirium. Tersa does also just sit there and gets ignored sometimes, whereas this thing's pretty hard to ignore. The red-white Collected Company was 4 steps. Was good season pyro. I mean, we're talking mostly standards. This thing gains 8 life? You mean 4 life? Or you mean if it's attacking? This doesn't replace Tersa. I mean, it might play more. You might play more than, 2 and 2 maybe. I don't know, I can see that card being better than Tersa. Feel like I've definitely played a lot of games where Jeskai Oculus gets in and board stall and Tersa kind of just sits there. 4 toughness against nowhere, 2 runs, big deal, obviously, yep. Alright, let's add it to the list. It could be like a lot of people who don't think that card is especially good are really underestimating the amount of games where you're just gonna get to flip it. Doesn't die to Dragon Hunt in the mirror. 26 land says, I don't see any world where you want Tursa more than this, honestly. Tursa, 26 lands is a show shot, believer. Yeah, 5 is not a ton. Oh, lightning. Oh, I remember that one. People were curious what I thought about that one. That's not a believer. Lightning, army of 1, 1 red and white. 3/2 human soldier. First strike, trample, and lifelink. Where's the haste though? Stagger. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or permanent that player controls, it deals double damage instead. So what it does, if it connects first strike, then your other creatures deal double damage until your next turn. If you have burn spells, I don't know, man. 2 toughness, 2 toughness, 3 mana, no come into play. I just not still don't see it. Cut down, torch, shock, burst lightning. 2 toughness, it's such, it does log decently well. Yeah, first strike. 3 power first strike's not bad. Too bad it doesn't block Breacher. I feel like 4 power, we're kind of in business. Might be worth the 2 toughness. And you still, like, even if it does live and connect, you still need like your other cards to live. I, for one, am not gonna add it to the list. Zinedine Zidane, Tantalus Thief, red and white and free. Oh, fancy 9. Lightning, army of... Actually, I think I do need someone else.
This song will drive you mad. This song will drive you mad. 8 for extra trees. Well, that might sound pretty bad.
A good catch. Cloud Planet's Champion. 5 mana, red, white, and free. 4/4. Human Soldier Mercenary. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, it has double strike and indestructible. Equip abilities you activate that target Cloud costs 2 less to activate. Wow. That is some nice stop ends. You just equip a sword. Is there a good haste one? What's the best haste one? Oh. Oh, but that costs red though. 2 mana, +2/+1. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has trample and haste. Is that all of them? Hexproof haste? What's hexproof haste? Why is Lavaspore Boots not showing? Oh, I have 2 sorted, my bad. This is free, we want something that costs 2 or 1. That card. This one creates the Crack Flame. Maybe that's the best one. Boris Equip? I don't know. We're about to find out. So you get a 1/1 sword that has equipped 2. Free enemy of command on your turn, attach target. Math. Seems like a commander card. Clouds? Seems like you would play it in white-red equipments. Dedicated white-red equipments. Maybe like a one of. I'm not gonna add it to the list. Because even if you do play it, it's probably like 1 or 2 offs and it's in like very specific archetype. Alright, next. Ignis Ciencia. 3 mana, blue, green, 2/2. When it enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and then free and tap, exile target card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, was exiled this way, create a food token. Pushed Civic Wayfinder. It's really nice with Surveillance too. Seems better than Fenrir, which we thought was good yesterday. I think Fenrir barely made the list, yeah. Part of it was green had so little. Probably fell a little bad for green. Elvish Rejuvenator Plus, yep. Nice little role player, the Simic guy. Yeah, I mean, I hope a card like that's still playable. You would think. Plus, there's a lot of graveyard stuff. Love the Delirium decks and standards. Pretty obnoxious ability. It also triggers Insidious Roots. But you probably don't want free power creatures in your... Or even play blue in the first place. Fenrir is an enchantment for Yuno. Spirit ramps you into Yuno. Reread Ignis. When Ignis Sensia enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Exile free tap. Exile target card from a graveyard. The creature card was exiled this way, create a food token. I don't think it mills. Why would I think it mills? Yeah, I was thinking about the activate ability triggering roots. I mean, would like Domain play that card? Like, would Domain even play that card as a one-off right now? Would any deck that can cast it, any mid-range, like would Macy's deck would have like played that card? It's not good enough to just throw in one-off in any. So who wants that then? Domain played the vehicle that rams. I mean, getting a cheap blocker is a big deal, right? Also, this gets a Surveillance. It gets like a dual Surveillance. It finds you Cavern of Souls. Yeah, I mean, the little extra value. I mean, if Omni is still a deck, that card's going to be a pain for them. I think it was graveyard things being important. That card's going to see a bit of play, but I don't know. I'm adding it to the list. Don't we still have the 4-man story that gets 200 of our top 6? Yeah, but you want to ramp into your 5-drops a lot, especially in beans and whatnot. Omega Heartless Evolution, 7 mana, 8/8. When it enters, happy for Omega. The Wandering Minstrel, 1 free for blue and a green human bard. Almost a human bird, Macy. So close. Lands you control enter untapped. Oh, is that the Titan creature? The Minstrel's Ballad. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 5 or more towns, create a 2/2 elemental creature token that's all colors. Okay. And then 8 mana. Other creatures you control get +6/+6. So it's like a 1. Oh, but it brings no value. Alright, that card looks bad. Green Sun Zenith's target for Amulet. I mean, what did Canister say? I'll refer myself to Canister's opinion. Doesn't seem worth it. He wants to try it. But that also means that, like, now if you have double Amulet, this is a non-bow, right? This means your amulets don't trigger anymore? No, it's not the same text as Spelunking, right? Oh, it is the same as Spelunking? Okay. So you get to choose? Okay. Any towns? Any towns for Titan? Any good towns? Alright, I added up to the list just because it might be a one-up in Titan. I feel like it's just not gonna be though. The fact that it's like not trivial to it's pretty trivial to cast. Alright, I'll add it to the list, I guess. The Wandering Minstrel. Just so we're clear. Shoko, Seeker of Paradise, banned and 1, like the Feldgriff. 3/5. Whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may put one of them into your hand, then put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped and the rest in your graveyard. That ability is insane. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, wow. Shoko gets plus. Oh, it's him. Okay, that's a little less. Damn. Dude, that means even like your Birds of Paradise attacks just get some triggers. Well, I know what's the first modern deck I'm gonna play. Sorry. What's his name? Sorry, Arcades. Friendship Walls is over. Shoko is my new best friend. His birds were already my good friends. It is the pigeon streams. Omnath birds? Why do you need Omnath when you have Shoko? Of trying birds on Thursday too in standards. Why the healer heart? We have a lot of birds. You even have some good ones. Interrupter. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. Arcades plus Shoko working hand in hand was the chaplain to tie it all together. All 4 mana cards. Surely that's gonna go well. Alright. Noctis, Prince of Lucis. Esper for free for 4. Human Noble Lifelink. You may cast artifact spells from a graveyard by paying free life in addition to paying their cost. If you cast a spell this way, that artifact enters a like, I don't know. So you can just free cast Bubble like 6 times or whatever and pay 18 life. Next. Kefka Court Mage. I remember that card. That card was powerful. 4/5 Grixis mana and 2. So 4/5 for 5 mana. Human Wizards. When it enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among discarded this way. Potentially, there are like 3 cards if you get a little lucky. 8. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform Kefka. You get a 5/7 flying. Whenever an opponent loses life during your turn, you draw that many cards. Yeah, I mean, that card's just like solid top end. Can maybe play it in Reanimator deck. There's no Grixis deck in standard right now. I mean, that card's just solid, right? If you're playing mid-range Grixis, you're almost definitely playing it. Or is it like Abel's Reanimator strats? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird card because you're probably never going to play more than 1 or 2, and you have to be specifically Grixis, and Grixis has to be playable and stuff. And maybe even then some Grixis deck won't want it, so... But it is like... Feels like pretty good value for 5 mana. Yeah, Control Shell, I mean, people play Shiko, right? It's not... It's pretty different than Shiko, but... Grixis does not have to be playable for people to show up with Grixis. What does this thing do? Sin's Paris Punishment. 7 mana Sultai creature, 7/7 flying. Leviathan Avatar. Whenever Sin enters or attacks, exile a permanent card from your graveyard at random. So it can be a land. Then create a tap token that's a copy of that card. If the exiled card is a land card... Oh, if the land card is a land card, repeat this process. So that one's a bit like that black one, right? That makes a demon and stuff. Like, you can exile an Traxa if you get a little lucky when you reanimate it. It just gives you like a little diversity for like super grindy games. Triggers over and over. Worse than the Usurper. Who's the Usurper? Is that Arden? Probably. It is 1 mana cheaper to cast and easier to cast than Attracts Out Fountain Port and whatnot. It's an avatar, so you can name avatar on your cavern. If you're playing the Overlord, says Chief Inspector Norse. Good points. Also, there's that Leviathan Saga that seems like almost borderline playable. I don't know, it's kind of a nice... Three mana Blood Artist was Emblem. Sephiroth, I mean, in a vacuum, it's kind of like the best card in the set, I would say. But I don't know if there's a supporting cast. As Spike would say, Magic is not... Decks are not built in a vacuum, but, you know, on paper... If I saw that card and I didn't know what other cards were legal in Standard, you know, I'd be like, that card's just clearly one of the best cards in the set, if not the best one. Ah, that card, speaking of Reanimator, Summon Bahamut, 9 mana, 9/9 flying, Saga Dragon, destroy up to one target non-land permanent for the first 2 triggers, then you draw 2 cards, then Mega